We don't have a new question for you. We're continuing the Dragons and Kids series. We've been inspired by a recent on-site workshop here at Vellore, specifically for kids from 4th to 8th grade, called Tame Your Dragon, Create Your Story. So why did we use dragon in explaining to kids about mental health in the workshop that we had done with kids, and the options for what you see on the screen? Today we're going to go to another area of how you can use the idea of the dragon in terms of teaching kids about mental health. So if your dragon is like a personification of your insecure identity, what do you do about that? We used Jung's model of the psyche. You might be wondering how we taught this to little kids 4th to 8th grade, but you will be surprised at the result. We used some principles of a particular type of psychotherapy called psychodrama. The rewards are outstanding. The kids really love it. And in just a short period of 2 days, actually put up a complex drama which included aspects of street theater, musical theater, and psychodrama, and do all of this and still learn some good mental health concepts in the process.
Hi, welcome to Soch with hSA,
where philosophy, practical theology, pedagogy, and psychiatry meet.
We are continuing our series on dragons and kids, and there's more to it. Let me hand over to Dr. Johan.
All right, everyone. We're continuing the Dragons and Kids series. So if you haven't seen the episode just before this, you can go and see it after this video. That will give you some continuity. In fact, this is just kind of like a continuation of that same discussion. So we don't really have a new question for you, but for the benefit of those who haven't seen the previous video, I'm just kind of recapping that question here. The question was this one here. So why did we use dragon in explaining to kids about mental health in the workshop that we had done with kids? That was our question. And the options were what you see on the screen. Dragons are funny creatures. Dragons are scary villains. And dragons are, archetypal antagonists. The correct answer was number 3. And dragons are archetypal or classic, they are the classic pattern of an antagonist or a dangerous creature in stories and myths all the time. So that's why the dragon is something that really kind of rings a bell and kind of, all kids get it when you're talking about a dragon. So today we're going to continue that discussion and go to another area of how you can use the idea of the dragon in terms of teaching kids about mental health. Last time we were talking about difficult emotions like fear, anger, and anxiety. Now we're going to use the problem of an insecure identity. So if your dragon is like a personification of your insecure identity, what do you do about that? Now, in the workshop, we did something very interesting. It was kind of like an experiment for us also. We used Jung's model of the psyche. Now, you might be wondering how on earth we taught this to little kids, 4th to 8th grade, but you will be surprised at the results. And that's what really stunned us here. Jung's model of the psyche, which we've already discussed in previous videos earlier, consists of 3 things. The self, the persona, and the shadow. All right. So these are the 3 parts of the psyche according to Jung. So he uses self for talking about the person's true identity. He uses persona for talking about how we put up a show or act differently in front of different people or in different contexts. So sometimes we hide our true self by acting slightly differently in front of different people. So Jung calls that the persona, and Jung calls the shadow that part of the self that we are not very comfortable with. For example, things about ourselves that we don't like. Those are called the shadow. And the shadow is something that appears in dreams. It's something that we're sometimes frightened about, we're not happy about. All of that comes under our shadow. So you can think of the shadow essentially as a kind of a dragon kind of figure that we don't like, that we want to get rid of, that we're not happy about. Now, Jung, in his theory, says it's important for a person to become a really whole and wholesome person, that you need to integrate your shadow. You can't throw away your shadow, you can't kill your shadow, but you need to integrate your shadow into yourself in order to become whole. Now, that may sound like a very complicated thing, but it's something that actually captured the imagination of the kids as we, did the workshop. So we picture it like this. During the skit that we finally put up, we used some principles of a particular type of psychotherapy called psychodrama. Now that's interesting. Psychodrama is a type of therapy which involves dramatization of certain mental health concepts or certain aspects of the mind that become dramatized. For example, you can dramatize a difficult emotion as a person, and or you can dramatize a conflict as a person or two people, and then you can talk about how to resolve that. So it's a wonderful way of getting people to think about difficult concepts and difficult conflicts and resolve them. We used some ideas of psychodrama in the skit, and we actually personified and gave character roles to self, persona, and shadow. And the shadow was also the dragon in our story. So we actually gave three kids those roles, and the whole story was revolving around a particular kid named Joe in this instance. And it was about Joe's life as he went through some really difficult times, and how he struggled with the difficult emotions and his own identity, and also a difficult conflict with his father. So, all of those difficult themes, by the way, the kids came up with all those aspects of the story. So, all those difficult themes had to be worked out in the psychodrama at the end, where we personified these things. So, we basically took Joe on a journey through his mind and actually dramatized self, persona, and shadow, and got him to learn how to deal with these things. Now, in the process of that, we taught him the importance of integrating the shadow, not throwing the shadow away. And how do you do that? By making the shadow feel as part of the self and not someone who needs to be thrown away. So, learning to tame the dragon or integrate the shadow was an important part of the story. So there's some aspects that Joe was not comfortable with. For example, he was not happy that he had a bad relationship with his father. He was not happy that his father was not supportive of his interest in music and singing. He was upset about many things, angry and anxious about many things, and he didn't like this about himself. His identity was also very much shaken because of all of these things. He didn't really know who he was or what he's going to do. But by the end of the psychodrama, he had learned that fear, anger, and anxiety are not enemies. They're dragons that can actually be useful, and they have certain things that trigger them, and they're like, if they're on your side, they can actually be very helpful. He learned that. He also learned that it's important to look at his identity not by with what he is, but who he is, and who he is as being tied to being created in the image of God. That God has created him in a unique way, in a special way, in God's image, and that he has value because of that, not because of what he is. He was a poor boy. He was a boy who was struggling with a lot of things. He was a boy who had a bad relationship with his father. Lots of sad things going on. That wasn't what should make his identity. His identity should be rooted in who he is, in terms of being built or created in the image of God. And he needs to integrate his shadow, tame his dragon, and form his own identity. So, this was what came out in the story. And believe me, the kids loved it. They just loved the idea of the shadow and the dragon and the persona coming in the way, and the self learning to become more confident, and all the three of them getting together at the end as an integrated whole. Now, when this is all dramatized in front of you, it makes a lot of sense. We also composed a song specially for this called Tame Your Dragon, Integrate Your Shadow. And in the song, we had self, persona, and shadow actually sing parts and get together. And so, getting all this dramatized really helps for them to understand it, imbibe it, and really fall in love with it. It seems like a very difficult theory, but when it is put to life like this, it makes a lot of sense for kids. And believe me, kids love story, they love drama, they love music. So all of these things help to make it, uh, really make sense for the kids. And that's what we want to tell you. So for those of you parents and teachers out there who are trying to teach your kids or groups of kids things, using drama, music, and singing and street theater and these sorts of concepts can really help, but you've got to have a design and a plan behind it. It can't just be random. You've got to put some thought into what sort of characters you want in the story, what sort of personifications you want, and there has to be some thought put into that. But if you do that, the rewards are outstanding. The kids really love it, and you'll have kids who really get the concepts well and who can apply that really well in their lives. Needs to be followed up, of course, but at least it's a good way to get started. And we were shocked at how much they loved these concepts. By the end of the story, by the end of the workshop, they were all humming these tunes, and they were, writing about heroes and dragons and shadows and personas in their notes, and going and showing their parents, and all over the place. It was really fun, nice to watch, and really heartwarming to see little kids, mind you, not 11th and 12th graders, 4th to 8th graders. We're talking about middle school kids who could grasp these concepts, put them to life, and in just a short period of 2 to 3 days, actually put up a rather complex drama which included aspects of street theater, musical theater, and psychodrama, and do all of this and still learn some good mental health concepts in the process. So it's something that we really enjoyed. If you want to find out more about this, you can contact us. You can email us at our email address of hello@healthsochacademy.com. You can do that, and you can, ask us about this, and we are happy to help you think through ideas about this, or even help you design programs like this for your own schools or your own youth groups or whatever you're involved with kids. Uh, we are happy to help with that. So just think about this for some time, and keep watching Soch with HSA. We'll come up with more things like this, and we'll be happy to share with you as we do uh, in the previous videos as well. We're happy to continue to discuss things.
So, viewers, want to remind you of the courses that we have. So, uh, it's important that parents or teachers or guardians need to first understand these concepts well, because you cannot simplify a concept unless you yourselves have understood it. So, that is why we are talking about these courses and these self-paced courses and the live courses also, because unless you learn these concepts, get a good grasp yourselves of what these concepts are, then only you will be able to put it in a simple manner that your kids can enjoy, and not just enjoy, learn from it also, so that it will be useful for them also. So please do take some time to look out and check out these packages and these courses, and please see if you can take part in it and learn these concepts. We have intentionally put it in a simple manner. It's not technical, it's made simple for parents and teachers with this express intention of uh, helping you to help uh, those around you, help yourselves and those around you, especially kids. So we have the Understanding the Psyche live course. The applications for the June and July batch are open. So please use the link to register your seat. It's a live course with live online sessions as well as self-paced content also. So you will be able to discuss and ask your questions and clarify your doubts in those live interactive sessions also. So please do check out the link and register your seat and reserve your seat for this Understanding the Psyche live course. We also have a special package, Understanding Child Development, for teachers and parents. It's a self-paced course, package containing two courses. It contains the psychosocial development course as well as the cognitive and moral development course. So both of these courses, again, when you deal with children, you need to know how to adapt it to various age groups. And just as we had mentioned in the workshop, we had kids, not older kids who are doing 10th or high school or higher secondary school. We had kids of 4th to 8th standard. So it had to be made really simple and, at a level that they can understand. For that, you need to understand what is their psychosocial development at each age, what is their cognitive development at each age, what is their moral development, and how they reason and think out moral choices. So this self-paced course package helps you to understand that, so that based on your child's age you can modify it and adapt it so that they will get well. So both of these courses are for just rupees 1000 inclusive of GST. Please do check out this package also. We are sure it will be useful for you to take these concepts and teach your kids as well.
All right, it's time for reflection. And like we did last time, we have some new music for you, which we've composed, which we put together for the workshop. So, hope you enjoy that while you're reflecting. And think about the idea of tame your dragon, integrate your shadow, and see how you can become secure in your identity as being made in the image of God. Those are the things we want you to think about as you reflect right now.
Thank you for watching. Goodbye, viewers. This is hSA signing off. Until we see you in our next video, stay healthy, stay Soch.